welcome to the January edition of Free for All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners on Super Talk 1270. We have a great, big, exciting show coming up for you today. As always, I am Dawn Kopp, the Executive Director. With me is Kate Herzog, our fantastic Assistant and Marketing Director, and Jim Walsh on the boards. And I would like to give Kate a nice welcome today, because today is her 7th workiversary with the Downtowners Association. She has been moving and shaking and making downtown and our community as a whole so much better and shinier for 7 whole years. Yay!
Yay! It's been fun. We had caramel rolls this morning to celebrate, so that's pretty much the best way to celebrate any achievement.
Just waking up in the morning is a good
anything
reason
with
to celebrate with
butter and dough is a great way to celebrate something. Yeah. We're starting our 2017 show. Our awesome producer Jim. 2016 was an interesting year. 2017 starting out very interesting, and it's going to be a very busy year in downtown Bismarck with a whole bunch of different projects and initiatives and
events and fun
businesses
things happening to do. Yeah.
So we're excited to start another year here on Town Square Media, Free for All Fridays on Super Talk 1270. It's been fun. And usually what we do, when we start off the show talking about downtown Bismarck, is some events that are happening with our members and in the downtown community. Don, I know you're going to be there tonight.
Hairball at the Civic Center. Or I'm sorry. Oh, gosh.
You're dating
yourself. I am a Bismarck Mandan native, so I still call it the Civic Center. Anyway, tonight, January 27th, Hairball with Unleashed at the Bismarck Event Center.
I have been to Hairball a few years ago. I was there. It's a fun time. They have all your favorites from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. And
it's the perfect reason to break out your acid wash denim jackets, maybe something neon, and the Aquanet.
And jelly shoes or something like that. Yeah, so check it out. Make a night of it in downtown Bismarck. Have some drinks, some dinner before you hit the show. Also tonight, another great way to make a night of it, stand-up comedy at 1603 Main Events. If you don't know where that's at, it's the old Sweetheart Bakery building in the eastern part of Main Avenue. 1603 Main Events, live stand-up comedy tonight. So if mullets aren't your thing, laughter might be.
Could be. And then on Sunday, January 29th, at the Bismarck Event Center, Dream Day Bridal Show. This is an event where you can make your dream day come true.
Yeah, I think they have a whole bunch of booths and things like that for wedding planning, florists, hairstylists, dresses, you name it. Check it out at the Bismarck Event Center. Again, there's a lot of things coming up at the Bismarck Event Center. They're hitting their stride in 2017 as well. So check it out, Dream Day Bridal Show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's see, starting yesterday, going through February 4th, Dakota Stage is presenting their next performance, Bell Book and the Candle. I believe performance will start around 7:30 or 8 o'clock, 7:30, I think.
I think they have some like buy one, get one ticket options and stuff like that.
That's right.
Go to dakotastageltd.com and you'll see, what they've got up for 2017. But I think there's also some fun ticket
I think it's a
promotions.
Buy one, get one at the door tonight, and for this performance. But you're right, Kate. Go to their website, check it out, see what's in store for their whole season, actually.
Also, a great fundraiser, an event in downtown Bismarck with one of our members, 1603 Main Events, is Masks in the Moonlight, February 4th and 5th. 1603 Main Events, again, a great fundraiser. Check it out, Masks in the Moonlight. Also got a couple other things coming up at the Bismarck Event Center, February 3rd and 4th, PRCA Rodeo.
Ooh, giddy up.
We've got rodeos, we've got hairball, bridal shows, pretty much got everything at the Bismarck Event Center. Also a very popular event that happens at the Bismarck Event Center is the BMHBA, the Bismarck Man and Home Builders Association Home Show, February 17th and the 18th at the Event Center.
Yeah, and I have something coming up here, too. On February 9th is Giving Hearts Day. That's a great way to give back to the community. And also February 10th through the 12th, Capitol Shakespeare will be performing All My Sons at the at the North Dakota State Heritage Center in the Russell Reed Auditorium. So get going to that as well. The 10th and 11th, it will be at 7 o'clock in the evening, and then a matinee on the 12th. Check out Capitol Shakespeare's Facebook page for more information.
February 11th, at the Bell Mayhew's Auditorium in downtown Bismarck, 1964, the tribute. I believe it's been here before, kind of a Beatles
I wonder, I think Jim might have seen that.
cover.
Did you see that, Jim?
Cover
I didn't
shebang.
see that one.
No?
I saw a similar show a few years ago.
Okay.
I think they sold out, or so. I did a really good job at the Bell, and I believe that's February 11th, 1964, the tribute. Also want to just put a shout out, Valentine's Day is coming up. So you can either celebrate or commiserate in downtown Bismarck, depending on what your situation is. We have a lot of our restaurants and boutiques that are participating with sales and specials. A lot of our restaurants do usually a Valentine's Day dinner or a themed dinner, or they have specials. Like the Pro Grill usually does a price fix menu and things like that. So I want to remind you, make your reservations early, especially if you told your wife you already did it.
And right. And also for Valentine's Day, Elevate Studios is doing a mini photo shoot. It lasts for 15 minutes, and you can kind of do it while maybe you're waiting for your reservations.
I think it's only $50 or something like that.
So you get several photos or maybe the rights or something like that. But all information for this fun mini photo shoot is on Elevate Studios Facebook page. So check them out. Again, it's a nice little add-on to the romance of the night.
Also, jewelry stores are pretty much concentrated in downtown Bismarck. We have a number of jewelry stores that are members of ours that do a fantastic job. So if you're looking for gifts, we also have a lot of great boutiques. So if you're looking for gifts for especially ladies,
right.
Even if you just want to get a gift card, those are great too. But you might want to put some more thought into it.
Sweet Treats is doing a bunch of different packages, from all the way to, I think, a proposal package down to maybe like a 6-pack of cupcakes or something that they can deliver. So check them out. They have just, I don't know, probably like 15 or 18 different packages.
Right.
They make their own truffles, tasty. We have fantastic floral shops in downtown.
Check out Crabapple Floral if you want something really interesting. Kelsey, who owns a floral shop in downtown Bismarck at Crabapple, does some really unique arrangements. And so you can come in and talk to her, or you can just say, hey, Kelsey, go wild, and you'll get something super awesome. Again, probably call and do that stuff as early as possible so that they can make sure those things get delivered on time. We once had someone who told their wife they got tickets for the Art Wine Walk, then they sold out, and he was really
scrambling.
He was scrambling. We helped him out, because that's kind of how we are. But
we're such nice gals, Kate.
I always want to say get all of the stuff early, because we always see some stuff on Facebook like, oh man, I can't find a reservation, or it's booked somewhere.
Usually
downtown.
People say, are you sure? Are you sure there's not like a secret booking or a secret reservation or secret tickets? No secret tickets. No secret tickets.
But it's going to be a busy Valentine's Day in downtown Bismarck. Again, I want to remind you also to celebrate safely and,
locally.
Locally, get a designated driver, buy your gifts locally, buy your meals and entertainment locally as well.
Are they going to fly away and then come back after dinner?
Yeah, it'll be show your love for local. That's what we put on the sign for Valentine's Day.
We do love local.
A lot of business, a lot of events happening in downtown Bismarck now through the next portion of February. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk 1270 AM.
Right now, 28.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back to Free for All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners on Super Talk 1270. Our first guest today is Tina with Cafe Aroma in downtown Bismarck. Welcome, Tina, to our show.
Hello, ladies. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're so happy to have you.
Tina, you've been on enough now that we can call you friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Oh, my goodness. I'm super glad. Do I get VIP status?
Tina, we're coming up with a T-shirt shortly that
great.
we'll shoot
yes,
your way.
I will take it.
I'll just say Tina.
We got to spend all morning with Tina at Cafe Aroma, or at least from 7:30 on for a little while, so it's been great. Tina, first, you were on... I think in November or something, it was like 3 days before you could announce that you had a brand new location. So tell us a little bit about how the move and where you're located now.
We moved a block up. We are actually located now on 4th and Broadway, right on the corner of the old Impact Gallery building. We were super lucky. Unfortunately, like I said, we talked probably a week before I could actually get excited when the papers were signed. But yes, so we took those 3 weeks. We did an extensive build-out and moved. our whole location during the first snowstorm, and then opened the second snowstorm. So I don't know if it was our fault necessarily, but if you'd like to blame us, I believe that was we might have disrupted downtown a little bit.
I think we will blame you. So now everyone can call your shop and blame you.
Yes, just feel free when you come in to complain. Just buy a coffee at the same time.
See,
we'll
perfect.
Hey, that's a good trade.
I like it.
So, Tina, Cafe Aroma, you've moved locations. You're now on 4th and Broadway. You also have some new hours. Tell everybody what your new hours are now that you have your own entry and exit into your business.
Yeah, now that we actually have a beautiful storefront, we decided that we are going to extend our hours until 7 o'clock at night. We're kind of bringing in some of those late night coffee drinkers who just need a place to go and hang out, and it's been really great. It's definitely super interesting in how different a block makes, and a bunch of windows, and we're on the kind of the heart of the downtown corners. I like it. Lots of stuff to look at. So yeah, you're done with work and you need to still get a little bit of stuff done. Just stop over, sit in the windows. We got seating in the windowsills. People really, really like it. And you can just get some stuff done and open till 7.
So, and you're open at 7 a.m. too, correct?
Yes, 7 in the morning. Yeah, we're normally here about 6:30. We got some diehards that we have to get here for because they don't have their coffee in the morning. They don't. They're not very pleasant to their customers. So we take the brunt and we get here about 6:30.
Oh, look at the work you're doing in downtown or for the community. Get there, make people happy. You make the community.
Yes.
Make the community happier.
We definitely don't have a sad business. I mean, serving up coffee. I mean, people come in normally half tired and they leave smiling. So yeah, it's not a bad business to be in. That's for sure.
So Tina, your hours at Cafe Roma 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Is that Monday through Friday?
That's Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays we're open 9 to 5 now. And then Sundays we are still closed. We do open up for a couple. We have a couple different events coming up. So if you ever do need the space, we're more than welcome to open it up if you have, we've done a couple baby showers, stuff like that, So we're not opposed to working on a Sunday. I mean, we don't know what it's like to have a day off, so normally we struggle with just relaxing anyway.
So versatile.
Yeah.
Tina, sorry, Cafe Aroma, along with your new hours, and this is something that you did at your old location, but now at 4th and Broadway, I've seen you've been doing it again, open mic night. How's that been going? You just had one last night.
We had our first one in our new location actually last night, and it's amazing. Everyone's still, stuck with us and crammed in here and listened to some amazing local live music. We have our next one coming up February 20th. It was great. We stuck them in the windowsill. We didn't have to have as many speakers because it's a little bit more of an enclosed space, but it was amazing. We had everything from a book reading. We had a saxophone player. We had many musicians. We had a poet who, if anybody has been to our open mic nights, is hilarious and is worth coming down as well. And it's open to all ages, so that's always a plus. So we had, a couple younger singers. We are going off of that, and we're allowing some of these singers to play here live on Friday nights. We have a couple of them scheduled. Just keep an eye on our Facebook page. But if anybody also is interested to come and play a couple hours, we're more than welcome. Live music and coffee shops kind of go hand in hand.
That's true.
The more the merrier, and any way that we can help, be an outlet for them to get their creativity out there as well. We're 100% behind that. So.
How does someone go about signing up for open mic night at Cafe Roma? Do they just show up, or do they?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. We start at 7. We just put out a sign-up sheet. It's always funny. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the first singer to sign up to be that first one up on the stage, which always makes me giggle because there's so many great loud personalities. But man, you put a list out and nobody ever wants to sign up first. And then you just come and you sign up, and we run as pretty much as late as everybody wants to, sing a couple songs or, like I said, read out of their books or, poetry or anything like that. So, it's not really formal. We love it. You can go in and out. I mean, coming in, having a couple, cups of coffee and listening to, some amazing local talent. I mean, we're really fortunate, and the city is very fortunate of just how much they have.
Right. Oh, it sounds great because you have so many different types of performances. So that's super fun for these open mic nights. You also have a new partnership with the Bismarck Cancer Center.
Yeah, we do. We actually are running a couple of different ones. Right now, actually, until the end of May, we are running, if your office or, school, today was crazy. We had about 6 deliveries. You go on our website or our Facebook page, fill out the form, send it in. We'll deliver coffee, and 30% of that order will go to the Bismarck Cancer Center.
Whoa.
That one's running up until the end of May. We also starting, actually January 30th, but we'll call it February. We've picked 4 local charities in the area, and what we're going to do is from 4 to 7, $1 from anything that you order, whether that's a cup of coffee or one of our amazing menu items, $1 of that will go to that charity. So the first week, which will start January 30th to February 3rd, is going to be Furry Friends Rescue. Myself and my business partner are amazing animal lovers, and we love everything that they stand for. The second week, which will be February 6th to the 10th, is going to be Carrie's Kids. It's kind of a new organization to us to be involved with them, but again, I mean, there's so many that you can pick from, and there's just so many amazing charities to help out. So we definitely want to continue with that. And then the third week, February 13th through the 17th, is actually going to go to Beard Strong, which is the Stanford Oncology Foundation.
Right.
So, and then the very last week, rolling into March, will be February 20th into the 24th, will go to Team Balderdash, which is for Brave the Shave.
Okay.
And then Dash, who is pretty much the team leader, we'll call him, of that,
Right.
will be making a drink, and all of March, that drink, all those proceeds of his drink that he creates will go to his Team Balderdash as well.
I can't wait to see or hear about his drink, because how old is he?
You know what? And I'm sad because his father, actually, Tanner, just left, and I want to say he's like 9, 10. Last year, his drink was amazing. It tasted like a bowl of melted ice cream.
Oh, that
and so
sounds great.
he's been working. Tanner already said he's been working on a new concoction for this year. And so, this month. So we'll roll it out actually the week of their foundation week, and then we'll roll it all of the month of March. So I'm assuming all of his creativity is going into this glass of yummy, delicious coffee. But yes, and it's going to go to, again, an amazing family and an amazing organization. So we're super excited to be able to help out.
We're talking with Tina. She's one of the owners of Cafe Aroma in downtown Bismarck, newly moved into their 4th and Broadway location, just mentioning a whole bunch of different charities and organizations in the community that they'll be supporting in the month of February. If you go in and buy a drink anytime from 4 to 7 p.m., they're going to donate $1 to some of those awesome charities and organizations in the community. Tina, well, we have maybe like 2 minutes. We wanted to talk quickly. You have a happy hour now, which we normally associate with the bar. But tell people what a coffee happy hour is and how it's how it works.
Figured, not everybody, I suppose, out there, always has to head up to the bar. But don't get me wrong, we have some great locations, some bar locations. So if you want to start here, it's from 4 to 7. And basically, what we're doing is it's $1 off any drink, or else it's a buy one get one 50% off any food item as well. So that starts off at right at 4, goes all the way until 7. So just kind of encouraging, like I said, with the extended hours, it's kind of new to the downtown to have a coffee shop. Our coffee shop opened that late, because normally in our old building we closed a lot earlier. So just bringing them in, and like I said, with that happy hour, we're going to bring in live music and just kind of make it just a different environment for those who, just are looking for something for a little different at that. We'll call it happy hour time. So.
And one of the other things you do, Tina, at Cafe Aroma, and obviously again in the new location on 4th and Broadway, is you are showcasing local artists on your walls. Things are for sale. Who do you have up now that people can come take a look at their pieces?
We've had Nicole the whole time, and everyone who's ever been in there, she was from our Art and Wine Walk, and we kind of fell in love with her, and she extended it out to a gentleman we just brought in, is a gentleman by the name of Anthony Nelson. We are looking for more. Myself and my business partner decided we were going to save a little money and paint our walls. And as we noticed, when you look very close, we're not that great at it. So we need some art to cover it. So anybody, who's out there listening, know of an artist, want to come in and feature some. We don't charge anything. We basically just look at it more as a blessing for us that people don't have to stare at our horrible paint jobs. So, but
it's
just a great way for them to showcase, just their talents and their art. And another, there's so many great galleries in the area that they have access to as well. So just one more that they can come put up a couple of items, and we actually will sell them right out of here. We don't take anything from them. We just ask them if it sells, they have to replace it. Because, again, the walls aren't probably the best job. So, we're really, really fortunate. And, again, if you know of anybody who is looking to showcase a couple of pieces, absolutely. And we do have a gentleman who brings in all of his ironwork as well. So, I mean, it's not just, paints, it's photos, anything that you can think of. I think art is pretty much open perspective for others to look at.
Well, thanks so much, Tina, with Cafe Roma in their new location at 4th and Broadway. Lots going on with their charitable work, open mic nights, new hours, happy hour. You can find them again on 4th and Broadway. Check them out on Facebook and online. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk, 1270 AM.
Right now, 28.
News and Views with Joel Heitkamp. Weekdays on Super Talk 1270.
And thanks for sticking with us, the Bismarck Downtowners, on Free For All Fridays on Super Talk 1270. We want to give a great big thank you to Tina with Cafe Roma, now located on the corner of 4th and Broadway in the heart of downtown Bismarck. She's always fun to have on the show. We consider her a friend of the show. Thank you, Tina.
Getting a t-shirt, Tina. We're making it for you.
We'll maybe give one to Emily, too.
Definitely.
Co-owner of the Cafe Roma. Anyway, so on to our next segment. In studio, we have Daniel Nairn. He is with the Community Development Department of the City of Bismarck. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Don. Glad to be here.
Is your official title planner? Community planner. Okay.
Straight planner.
Planner.
Mm-hmm.
Fits on the name tag. Daniel, we want to talk to you. We were at the City Commission meeting on Tuesday night, and there was a public hearing to talk about your infill and redevelopment plan. And while that is very specific about what the plan is, I want to make a suggestion. You call it the infill and redevelopment plan, and then something funner, like creating awesome neighborhoods.
No. In government, we don't get into that. We let you guys do the fun things.
All right. Well, I'm
going
to put like making neighborhoods great in Bismarck. And that's really, I think, what the plan is about. You're talking about a whole bunch of things happening in the city of Bismarck. So for people who aren't aware of what the infill and redevelopment plan is, not just a downtown thing, give us a little intro about what you've been thinking with this plan and how it works.
Sure. Thanks. So just a quick primer on planning and how the process works. And in North Dakota, any city that practices zoning has to have a plan to base any of the laws they write on. So we had a plan a few years ago called a growth management plan that was adopted in 2014, and that addressed mostly the outward growth of the city and how to do that in an orderly fashion. So we decided that we really needed a closer look at how the city would grow inwardly, how infill, which really, it's a kind of a jargon term, but it really just means building anything in an area that's already been developed and maybe in a lot that's been passed over, or redevelopment, which means any taking a building and reusing it in a different way and to match maybe changes in the market or reusing sites. So we really wanted a way to facilitate high quality infill and redevelopment. We met with some developers and other people in the private sector and they told us that some of our current laws don't necessarily match that context, and so we really wanted to look carefully at that. But the goal is to create high quality infill and redevelopment that respects the existing neighborhoods, that allows options for builders, and so really we're trying to find a balance between some of those two goals.
So Daniel, let's get into kind of the guts of the plan. There's a whole bunch of suggestions and implementations, and again, anything that you do in the plan will go through another process with the city. So if the plan's accepted, not everything happens all at once like big, domino series. It's really which one do you want to look at, and then how do we work on it? So we had a couple that we really liked, and I think one that we heard at the public information meeting for the city's plan, infill and redevelopment plan, was keeping neighborhood schools open. It seems to be a real connector for the community, and talk a little bit about how that made into the plan.
Sure. There are a number of implementation strategies that touch on some details. And that one, we did hear from a few people we'd spoken with that the public schools, and particularly elementary schools, they are educational institutions, of course, but they're also anchors to neighborhoods, and they really bring people together. They have a social function, and they influence the value of neighbors and neighborhoods. And so we did decide to include that in the plan. We noticed that Fargo and West Fargo have similar plans, and they have similar language, and so we're kind of in the same line as they are. And we brought that to the attention of the school district staff first, and then we did go to the school board with that implementation strategy, and they seem to really concur with that strategy during the meeting, and so that we decided to keep that in the plan for now.
We're talking with Daniel Nairn. He's with the City of Bismarck, chatting about the infill and redevelopment plan, making our
Awesome.
neighborhoods great,
Great.
in Bismarck. Another thing that was brought up at the meeting, and we thought was really important, and there was a lot of discussion about, was parts of the plan, and obviously this is important to downtown Bismarck, is kind of keeping the integrity of historic neighborhoods historic, and how development occurs in maybe like a cathedral district type neighborhood, which is very historic. Talk a little bit about, again, how that made it into the plan and what you were seeing for that goal.
Sure. The City of Bismarck has two current districts in the National Registry. That's the downtown and also the Cathedral District. There could be more. There's some that may be eligible if somebody wanted to take that initiative. So we did think that, as places redevelop, it is very important to maintain character, especially unique and special areas. And so there are a couple of strategies that address this. One is that any neighborhood that is on the National Registry could, if they chose to, come to the city and ask for some special standards for their area that would maintain a historic character, and the city would work with them to develop and enforce that. The second strategy is really to create a body. The technical term is certified local government, and that
would something awesome. Okay,
something awesome.
Keep working on that.
Yeah, and that would create an advisory body citywide that would really be a resource for the commission to use when they make decisions that might impact historic properties.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, in downtown Bismarck, we have our own design standards, and something that we did ask the city for, so that when we're doing developments downtown, we saw some things in the 70s and 80s where people were putting up things that just weren't jiving with the historic nature of their building, and so we want to make sure we keep that historic integrity in place. But again, something that's maybe open to neighborhoods and they haven't really thought about how they want to keep the character of their neighborhood. So look at the infill and redevelopment plan and look at those parts. One other thing that we think is pretty important in the plan, and probably pretty large section of the plan, is talking about mixed-use neighborhoods, walkability, and how that's in demand. It used to be that there wasn't so much single-use zoning in a community, so you could walk and get an apple, because there would be some commercial use in your neighborhoods. As we move to more single-use zoning, you become more car dependent, and so this is just some options for mixed use, form-based neighborhoods. But talk a little bit about how that could work for the community.
Sure, yeah, and I think that's a good point. And we have had a few people say, well, not everyone really wants to live in these walkable neighborhoods. Some people just want to have the space, and I think that's absolutely true, and really I think you mentioned the word options, and I think that's really the key point we really hit on here is the housing market is very diverse, and many people have different ideas of what their lifestyles they want to live, and the supply should match the demand, and really the idea is to give the opportunity to create these sort of walkable neighborhoods that a certain segment do want, and make them as optimal as they could be, and so I think looking at certain design, and we call them design principles here because at this level there's not any need to get too prescriptive about it, but just thinking about how certainly with mixed use you'd want to put the more private uses above and the more public uses below, commercial, like really how the downtown already functions, and also just to think carefully about the streetscape elements that would encourage pedestrian use. It's safety and convenience, but it's also just attractiveness, and do you want to be there and walk in this location? And so there's a lot of factors to consider in that, but certainly, and one of the terms we use is a complete neighborhood, to have a place where you can really get that gallon of milk if you want to, or get your prescription medicine, or have children play in a park, and really think about all of those parts of the life.
So, Daniel, the city would like to hear more input from the community before they go ahead and make a decision on maybe accepting the plan and then looking at it further. So what's the process for someone to go in, and obviously there's more things in the plan that we haven't touched on, but what's the process of them giving feedback? We've got about a month to give some more feedback.
Sure. So the place to find the plan is online. If you go to the city website, the City of Bismarck website, and you drill down to the Community Development Department and then the Planning Division, and you'll see a link to the Infill and Redevelopment Plan there. So that's a good place to check it out. And certainly submitting any comments, probably the easiest way to do that would be just to send an email to the Community Development Department general mailbox or to really anybody in the department, and we would make sure it got to the commission when we assemble everything for the next meeting. So I'd encourage everyone to do that. The more eyes on it, the better. And it'll really help us make sure it's the best plan for Bismarck.
So just to reiterate, that's the website is bismarck.nd.gov.
Correct.
And then you go to the Community Development Department, and then you go into the Planning Department, and you'll find the link to the survey, correct? Or the plan.
The plan, right.
Yep. And then is there just a form right on there that they can fill out, like to submit the information, or is it an actual email address like community development?
Yeah, so you just have to email email us, and the email address is on the website there.
Okay.
There's also, I think, a general contact form on the site if you want to give any
Right.
Sure.
generalized information, which would go to the administration department. So just want to touch on one other quick thing about the infill and redevelopment plan, and I think it's really important to touch on, and it came up at the meetings, was a plan is a plan, and if the city commission accepts it, then you go into the process of possibly implementing anything that the community wants implemented, and it goes through still a zoning process, still public hearing process. So I think a lot of times when people see the plan, they think it's all going to happen,
Right.
and it's all in action, and this is a plan.
That I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, the plan changes nothing in and of itself, and it won't change anything on the ground. It won't change any laws. It sets a vision. It's an opportunity to have a bigger picture and a longer term discussion as a community before we get into the details of how it really work.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited about it. We think that the infill and redevelopment plan makes neighborhoods great, gives you options to control the character of your neighborhood, and options to walk and get some Band-Aids if you need them, or an apple or something like that. So go to bismarck.nd.gov, take a look at the infill and redevelopment plan, give your thoughts, I think about 30 days, and it'll come back to the City Commission. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk 1270 AM.
Right now, 30.
Weekends with Twilight Zone Radio on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back to Free For All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners on Super Talk 1270 AM. We want to give a thank you to Tina with Cafe Roma. She and Emily own the space now, or own the shop, and they are located in their new location at 4th and Broadway in downtown Bismarck. And thank you, Tina, for joining us. And we also want to thank Daniel Nairn with the Community Development Department. I have a hard time saying community development, but I did it there. He joined us in our last segment to talk about the infill and redevelopment plan that the city is currently they have put together, but they're seeking public information on this plans.
You mean infill and redevelopment plan, creating great neighborhoods. Right? I'm pitching that.
Kapow.
Just put it in italics after the actual plan
I think you need
name.
to make it, you can't just say creating great neighborhoods, because that's a little bit just kind of meh. Say something else.
I'll get
okay.
it. I'll work
I'll
on
say
it.
I'll say it
Marketing.
first, and then you do the colon. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Bismarck's infill and redevelopment plan,
Being able to get an apple and walk there from your house.
Kapow.
Plan. There we go. Great.
Okay.
But really, we do want some input. The city of Bismarck wants some input on the plan. It's a really cool plan. You might not agree with everything in it, but essentially, we want to see like what in the plan would you like to see? What would you like to see changed in the plan? I think there's like maybe 19 kind of ideas for implementation and things that create, if you so choose, walkable, connected neighborhoods.
It's really fun to hear the term infill, because
you're a downtown nerd.
I am, and kind of the sky's the limit when you say infill, because what could go in a brown surface lot, something could be built on there that could be awesome and house something fantastic. So, and it also adds to the tax base. We love that. It's all good.
You're already paying for those roads there anyway. You might as well make everything work for you, and it helps everybody else out by bringing the taxable value up. Again, not things people love to talk about, math, but the math.
I like math.
The math really, the plan really supports good math as well.
It does.
And so we're excited about it. Again, I thought, and as for downtown Bismarck, keeping neighborhood schools open is really important, because if we want people living in those traditional neighborhoods, and that's really what's in demand from kind of the young professionals, millennial types, we need to have good schools in those neighborhoods as well, and that's what makes that housing stock attractive to them as well. So there's some really cool things in the plan. Check them out. They don't all have to do with downtown Bismarck. In fact, not much of it does.
Most
there's a little bit.
It's community-wide. It's
But
city-wide.
It is, and we feel downtown Bismarck is a walkable neighborhood, and we want to share, the productivity of that across the community. Again, if you so choose, if that's an option for you. A cool tool to check out. We talk about walkability a lot, again, downtown nerd terms, but go to walkscore.com. You can enter your address, and you can see how walkable your house is now. And basically what it tells you is how many things can you accomplish kind of on foot.
Right.
How many errands can you accomplish?
You can put in your house, your business works as well, any address that you are personally connected to, I guess. And it's really interesting. I put in my address. I'm a 42, which means maybe you could get a couple of things, but most of your errands will be done by car.
Okay.
So
our office downtown in the depot is 89, which means most errands can be accomplished
on foot.
Walking within a 15 to 20 minute walk. And so things that realtors are using now, commercial realtors are using, you'll see a listing for a building in downtown Bismarck and has a walk score of 85. That means something to people now. And not everybody wants to live, in a traditional neighborhood. Some people like, living in the county and having some acreage. That's fine. Again, these are options for you. But we know that more than 50% of people want to live in a walkable neighborhood. And I read a statistic that the country is really only developing maybe 15 to 20, 25% of that kind of housing stock. So there's a huge demand, there's a low supply, and the infill plan at the city of Bismarck, I think, addresses how to increase that supply to meet the demand for walkable neighborhoods. Check out WalkScore. I had my dad put it in for his. He's like, oh, this is cool.
It is cool. And again, any address, whether it's work, your private residence, school, you can put in your school or your kids' school. It's just fascinating. And it also allows you to kind of say, oh, that's what it meant when I was a kid and I could walk to the grocery store, or I could get a video and rent a video.
Oh my God. How long ago was that, Dawn?
Hey, Kate. You did it too. So.
That's true. But check out walkscore.com again, and we want you to check out the infill and redevelopment plan, making neighborhoods great.
Kapow.
bismarcknd.gov. We hear a lot on social media, oh, I didn't have a chance to chime in, or when were they doing this plan or this and that. And we go to so many public hearings and city meetings and no one really shows up for us. So we ask you maybe to keep your eye peeled to the City of Bismarck's website, where you can see where the public hearings are, where the plans are, get engaged, get involved. And I think you'll find that the city is really open and wants that feedback, and a lot of times they don't receive it, which is too bad. So,
and you don't have to talk to them in person or on the phone. You can shoot them an email. And I know Kate had mentioned in an earlier segment that there is a contact form right on the city's website, and it's super fast. Yeah, you can I think you just put in your name and a little bit of contact information, give them your comments. Ta-da, you're done. Just easy peasy, a few minutes, take you some time and be heard.
A couple other things that we as the Downtowners in Bismarck want to let you know about is the Mayor's Economic Development Advisory Group was asking for citizens to fill out the livability survey, and that those survey results are going to be discussed at BSC March 9th at the Bismarck Mayor's Livability Summit. Go to bismarcksurvey.com to fill out the survey, or bismarcksummit.com for tickets and event information. It's basically they want to gather information and input from citizens really to improve the long-term environment of the communities. They want to hear, what are the strengths of the Bismarck community? What are our weaknesses? Where are our areas for growth and opportunities? Monsignor Shea is going to be there from the University of Mary. Our new governor, Doug Burgum, is going to be there to talk about his Main Street initiative, obviously with the mayor and a whole bunch of panelists and speakers talking about the future of Bismarck and how we, continue to make Bismarck great.
It's a jam-packed itinerary. I believe it starts at 9:30 a.m., goes till about 2:30, and they have, I think, oh gosh, maybe almost a dozen segments within those, 5 hours?
It's like 5 panels and 27
So
speakers or something.
It's really,
gonna be
it'll
packed.
be really fast-paced as well, but it'll give everybody an opportunity to see what's coming up, what is currently happening, the future plans, and also give input as well.
Again, another opportunity to voice your opinion about Bismarck, and not so much voice your opinion and sit back and kind of be the armchair, you yes or no, even though that's valuable. Get involved in the process. What are your ideas? We
Right.
want to hear what your ideas are, and not just, I like that. I don't like that. Okay, well, what do you want to see?
One
as
of
well?
the things that I found over my course in history is that something when I'm feeling like I needed to maybe make things happier, or I'm in a place that I don't necessarily like so much, I get involved and I try to do something with maybe an organization, maybe at the city level or government level of some sort, and it always does help, because once you become part of the process, then you can say, I helped with that, and it kind of makes you feel good.
Yeah, you helped with that, Jim. Yeah. Man, Jim's the best producer here on Free for All Fridays.
Thank you.
His the voice is like chocolate
Velvet.
pudding, butterscotch pudding.
Oh, French vanilla.
Yes. One other quick thing, the city of Bismarck is asking neighborhoods to adopt a hydrant. With all that snowfall, there is an interactive GIS map that you can find all the hydrants in town and then report on them if they've been opened or closed or whatever. So go and check that out. We're encouraging our downtown property owners and businesses to locate the hydrant nearest them and clear it. So lots going on, especially with the city of Bismarck. We want your input. We need your help. bismarcknd.gov. For the downtowners, however, you can find all this information at downtownbismarck.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/downtownbismarck. On Twitter, downtownbiznd. We're also on Instagram, Downtown Bismarck. For Jim Walsh, Dawn Kopp, I'm Kate Herzog with the Bismarck Downtowners. We'll see you next month on Free for All Fridays on Super Talk 1270 AM.